Hey there, Postal here. Today we are taking out the B-17G by request, because otherwise I would have nothing to do with this plane. I absolutely despise this plane. I really do. It's not fun for me. I don't feel like it's very effective. Unfortunately, I kind of feel like the American bombers are broken in all kinds of different ways. We know how overpowered the B-29C is. B-32 might be the only one that's like relatively balanced. But even it, if you don't know what you're doing against it, can be pain in the butt. This has all the same discrepancies that those planes have. Super long reload time on the bombs. Incredibly slow and unmaneuverable. But doesn't really have the benefits of those particular planes. What do I mean? Well, yeah, this has a high health pool, but it doesn't matter at Tier 6. You're going to run into ME-410s, Key 102s, Hornets, Mosquitoes, things that I'm literally melted down in a matter of seconds, even with the ridiculous health pool. And so that doesn't even matter. The bombs reload on it. Do I drop these two here? Sure, why not? And I'm going to try to dive over here. The bombs, there's not nearly enough of them to justify the super long reload. And so, I'm going to actually slow down here. Can I? No, maybe not. Oh, it's our friend. So, you know, the long reload is not justified. You've got half the amount of bombs of either of those two planes. You still are incredibly, incredibly slow. You are just a sitting duck waiting to die, basically. And so what you're trying to do is see into the future, and I suppose if I was better at knowing which sector to go to, you're trying to see into the future because, God forbid, you get to a sector after it's already been flipped to your color, or you get to a sector right as it flips to the red. Because it's going to take you 45 minutes to get to the next sector anyway. Look, I've had the boost on the whole time. Great, 60 seconds worth of boost. 60 plus seconds worth of boost. And still doesn't even get me halfway to where I want to be. So we'll just kind of keep on keeping on here. What do we need to watch out for? They've got a Tu-2, which is really good Tier 7 bomber in my opinion. Actually, I like both the Tier 7 bombers. All three, I guess I should say. Might be the one bomber. I can't even look. Alright, so an F4U1 Tier 6 multi-role fighter knocked me down to 60% health in just a couple seconds. And now I might not even be able to survive a full attack run here on this command center. And this is what I mean, like, the health pool is a joke. It literally means nothing. Keep on boosting here. See if I can't do this here. And let's just boost forward if I can. And now we gotta go back to this mining facility if we don't die here in this sector. Yay, we got the command center. Nice. We're still gonna die here because there is a plane. Yeah, I was gonna say there's something. Again, there's no point to the hit point pool on this plane. It's got a ridiculous 1,600 hit points right now, and yet it still needs like another 800 to feel comfortable. Granted, I'm not specialized in this plane. Yeah, just kind of is what it is. My mentality with this plane has to be just rinse and repeat and assume I'm going to die as soon as I get into any kind of interaction, because that's just literally what you do. It's kind of a shame. What's funny about this plane is I do have a pretty good... at least I'm not like a 2-point pilot or a 2-point gunner. How about I say that? My rear gunner is actually quite strong. My pilot is the special pilot you get. I still got 28 seconds before I'm reloaded. It's like the catch-22 in this plane. Like, everything is so slow. And when you do get to a sector, you're like, oh, am I still reloading? Technically not even to this sector. Took me 14 seconds to make a slight turn and turn back. Because such is this freaking plane. Alright, so let's get ourselves on a... No, I still need to keep on keeping going straight here. I want to get a decent attack run here. Going straight downtown here. See if I can't just dive down. Here we go. Hello. Oh, that was just absolutely terrible. Gonna boost along here and try to turn back around. Can we? Possibly. Maybe. Do I copy ever? Alright, now let's head to the center. Alright, we're still up on points, if barely. Try to get some altitude here. Key 88 I can actually survive against. Fighters might be the one thing that you do okay against. Man, their bot ME410 is just tearing it up. Let's see if we can't... I'm not even going to boost. There's no point in boosting because I've got 37 seconds before my bombs are reloaded here. Don't know if going center is the better option here, but I guess, I mean, I gotta kind of basically go through the center to get over there anyway, so... 22 seconds. Oh my goodness. Get out and row. We could talk about the weather or the stock market or... I don't know. Some kind of fun science shenanigans going on. I mean, I've heard... don't know if you guys read the articles on black holes, but that was pretty interesting. God knows I do not want to talk about freaking GPUs. Can I get... I think this part here is going to be the best to drop my bombs on. Because I can do this. And hitting the air brakes here. Oh, people are dying in the sector, so my bomb drop is doing nothing. Up. This ME410. Let's see if I can get all my guns on him. Can I knock him out? Up. And the game won't even let me do that. Oh my goodness. And I even did well. Like, 12,000 is not the best by any means. I'm quite sure you could go out there and find 20,000 point games, and if it was somebody like Prinslao or something like that who actually knows what they're doing in bombers, you know, they probably could get 20,000 quite easily. But I just don't enjoy myself in this bomber. I feel like I'm just kind of going through the motions. Let's head back. So we were able to get the win there. I just feel so disconnected from the battle. Like, I don't even know what my team did. We had a BF-109Z. Oh, Rommel. Rommel's a really good pilot. So he was doing the things he needed to do, trying to counteract the Tu-2, probably. I don't find the B-17G or the B-17, what is it before that? F or whatever it is. enjoyable gameplay. At tier 6, I actually really like the Do 217, the German tier 6 bomber. And I quite enjoy the PE2 ME82, although it's not necessarily my favorite. I really, really like the A26B. I would, any day of the week, rather take out the A26B here or the Do 217. Precision bombing is a little bit more up my alley. I'm still not overly great in either of those planes, but I actually enjoy the interactions I have. And I think that's the biggest takeaway, the biggest difference between those planes and the B-17. Good work by our BF-109Z. Basically allowed me to roam around the battlefield and drop my bombs. And that's all you can hope for when you're in the B-17, is that you're left alone. A B-32 and a B-29, we clearly know, especially the B-29, they can take care of themselves, defend themselves with their guns. B-17 just doesn't have that ability. And on top of that, it loses hit points so easily. This is basically a TOG 2. If you've ever played World of Tanks, this is a TOG 2. Except it's not fun. At least a TOG 2 can be enjoyable. No matter how bad that tank is, at least it's enjoyable. This plane it's not enjoyable for me. I'm at the mercy of the enemy team. I feel like I do well in a B-17 when the enemies let me do well. I don't feel like I'm the one that's actually doing well. Does that make sense? They've got to let you alone for long enough to let the bombs reload. Leave you alone for long enough to let you get to that sector. And then leave you alone while you're dropping your bombs. And to the point where you can hope you can actually be effective. And so, if you've seen B-32 gameplay, seen B-29C gameplay, and you're like, oh, I want to go down this line and enjoy myself at beating up on tier 5s and tier 6s as a assault vehicle of sorts, like you can do in a B-32 to a lesser extent, and definitely in a B-29C. That is not the kind of gameplay you're going to run into in a B-17G. Or the tier 5. What the heck was the tier 5? I can't even remember. The B-17D. That's right. D. That's just not what you're going to run into. Problem with the tier 5s and tier 6s is you're going to run into BF-110s. You're going to run into ME-410s. You're going to run into Hornets and BF-109Zs. You're going to be running into Mosquitoes and Bow Fighters and all these classic quintessential heavy fighters that just own the skies at mid-tiers. The B-17s don't have the flexibility to deal with those planes. They don't have the armor. They don't have the defense turrets that you would want. And so you're just going to have to live with the repercussions of that and grind yourself past it. Again, I'm not specialized in this plane, but I do have the engine armor protection because you need your engines to keep going. I've got the improved turret armor protection. I will probably actually switch this out to turret gun sight. Yeah. Just to give more range on the turrets. I'm going to do that right now. And I would recommend that for you too, if you're comfortable with using rear turrets. And I am. So that gives me more range by 12% with my defensive turrets, which is great. As far as my consumables is concerned, the plane doesn't really catch on fire ever. Can't remember it ever catching on fire. So first aid dressing to get my pilot / rear gunner, especially rear gunner, back in and available. Manual engine restart for sure. And you definitely want to use the improved fragmentation for your consumables, so that way you're doing extra damage while you can. I've actually got the pilot, Cadman Miller, that you could have won with this particular pilot. With this particular plane. I've got Demolition Expert on here. It's got to be your first option with this pilot. With any pilot for a bomber, Demolition Expert is the way to go because you want to increase your bomb damage and your blast radius. This pilot, the B-17G Master, increases the boost duration and damage caused by bombs by 10%, which is absolutely excellent. It's the only way that this bombing ordinance is reasonably okay in my opinion. increases the damage area of the bombs by 5%, which is absolutely, absolutely excellent. The weird thing of this is you get strike from the skies for this pilot, which increases the acceleration with boost in a dive by 5%. You don't ever dive unless you're messing around in the B-17G, so this is really kind of a stupid skill to have, but okay, cool. Yeah, like nobody's diving. The rear gunner, I've actually got a 10-point pilot gunner here for this. So I mean, I've got the quick reflexes. I've got the defensive fire, which I think is absolutely a necessity for any bomber that can't defend itself. And hell, it really is a necessity for just every bomber and GA in the game. Armor, and then I've finally got the ballistics expert on here as well. So that's increasing the burst length of the turrets. It's impacting positively the aim time of the turrets. It's impacting the firing range of the turrets, and it's impacting your ability to take less damage when you're firing at an enemy. And so that's really the quintessential quad as far as I'm concerned for a plane like this. There's definitely argument to be made to go for precision gunner. It's definitely going to be the next item that I go for. In a plane like this, you could conceivably do precision gunner over something like quick reflexes. Precision gunner could be chosen after that. But in my opinion, defensive fire is the first thing that you want to go with in a plane like this, any bomber or ground attacker. So yeah, B-17G, you're just not gonna. I'm just not gonna fly it. The only reason I'm flying it is because Marcellus requested it, and I like him enough to actually listen to him. And so there you go. Here's your request. I hope you enjoyed the video. I would love to hear your opinion, anybody's opinion on this particular plane. Is it a plane you actually enjoyed, or is it something that you just got through to get to the B-32? I really would like to hear your opinions on this plane and how to best play it. Feel free to comment down below, I'll respond, or hop in my Discord and we can continue the conversation there. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.